Welcome to the Insider. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe, like, share, comment and click on the notification bell for latest football news vibes. Manchester United have drawn 0-0 against Liverpool at Anfield in a game that really struggled to inspire in what was a dull encounter. Erik ten Hag's Manchester United came into the game with the pressure, possibly the most it has been on the Dutchman. United, however, weathered the storm of the game and had a couple of chances of their own to potentially pick up an unlikely win. Diogo Dalot was sent off late on for dissent, but the Red Devils got through the last knockings of the game. Here are 5 things we learned from the drab encounter. Despite the Scottish midfielder having 5 Premier League goals for the Red Devils this season, Scott McTominay once again struggled to impose himself on the game and was rather overshadowed by his 18-year-old midfield partner Kobbie Mainoo, who looked much more composed for United. McTominay was named captain of United, and it seemed a strange decision when the team news was announced an hour before kickoff, and the midfielder struggled hugely to justify that decision made by Ten Hag. With Bruno Fernandes, Mason Mount and Christian Eriksen missing, McTominay was pushed further forward to get the best out of his late runs into the box, but the Scotsman hardly had a kick. After a positive performance against Chelsea, it looked like Sofian Amrabat had finally arrived in Manchester after a rather underwhelming start to his career in England. However, the Moroccan came crashing back down to earth with this performance at Anfield, as he looked laboured, passive and rather unfit, as he was constantly bypassed in the midfield far too often. Mainoo excelled for the Red Devils in the midfield, whereas Amrabat, who played a World Cup semi-final only last winter, struggled to get into the game and make his mark. Well, as mentioned, as his midfield partners struggled, one man who didn't was Mainoo. At just 18 years of age, the midfielder has taken to life in the Premier League like a duck to water. There is always a hefty risk when an academy player, especially a midfielder, is brought into the first team. It's an even bigger risk to start said midfielder at Anfield in a game that could cost Ten Hag his job, but the Englishman performed. It was his outstanding pass that set Alejandro Garnacho away, but the Argentine couldn't get his shot away. Mainoo looked very composed as the Anfield faithful became more and more exacerbated as the minutes went on. The game looked like it might be the last of Erik ten Hag's rather mixed spell in charge of the Red Devils, but this 0-0 draw will keep the Dutchman in his job for the time being. Despite the draw, this was not a vintage performance, this wasn't even a competent performance. Liverpool's struggles in the final third meant United looked good, but in reality, they were toothless going forward. Rasmus Højlund had United's big chance, but the Dane fired it straight at Alisson, much to the frustration of Erik ten Hag. United just struggled to offer anything. The result, as drab as it was, leaves United in 7th place, 6 points behind Manchester City in 4th place. The questions over Ten Hag's future will, for now, be put to bed. But this result may well save him for a few weeks. Whether the fans will be happy with performances that really struggled to inspire remains to be seen. The Red Devils take on West Ham United at the London Stadium next weekend. They have to use this result as a springboard for something, anything. 3/4 of Man United fans betting on the top 4 race this season are backing their team to do so. This stat comes from members of Ladbrokes Fanzone, a place where you can receive free bets and offers exclusively for your favorite team. After a respectable 0-0 draw against their bitter rivals Liverpool on Saturday, the Red Devils currently sit in 7th place, 6 points behind Man City in 4th. Whilst Erik ten Hag's men are behind the pack, luckily for them there is a very high possibility that the 5th-placed team in the Premier League will also qualify for next year's newly formatted Champions League. There's even more pressure on Bruno Fernandes and his team to clinch one of the spots up for grabs due to their team's abysmal showing in the Champions League this season. Finishing bottom of their group meant that United fans will have to wait until at least next season to see Old Trafford host another European fixture. Whilst the red side of Manchester are backing themselves to finish in the top 4, the next team they're betting on is Arsenal at 7%, then rivals Liverpool at 6% and Newcastle at 4%. Only 1% of Man United fans betting on this market believe Spurs will make it into the top 4. Chelsea and Brentford also share 1% each. A huge reason for this could be because of the odds on each team to finish in a top 4 spot. For example, Man United to finish in a top 4 spot is one of the highest they've ever been in the past few seasons at 7-1, whereas Man City are currently 125th to achieve that feat. With Aston Villa impressing this season and adding themselves to the mix, finishing in the top 4 for Man United this season could prove even harder. Thanks for watching this amazing video.